This girl's recipe was stolen by an influencer who managed to get a $40,000 brand contract. I spent 5 years developing my line of homemade barbecue sauces, sold them at farmers markets on weekends, and through Insta, I had a regular customer base of like 200 to 300 people. Nothing massive but steady. My signature sauce, spicy peach with habanero and bourbon, I made it from a recipe I developed myself through trial and error. It had its own thing with caramelizing the peaches in specific vinegar proportions. Sold it in small jars for $12. People came back specifically for it. 6 months ago, this influencer chick, she had like 80K followers back then, bought 3 jars from me at the market. We chatted a bit. She said she loves kitchen experiments and runs a food blog. I gave her my business card, told her to tag me if she posts anything with my sauce. She smiled, promised, left. 2 months later, I see she posts a reel, my signature peach habanero sauce, films the cooking process, calls it her original creation. I recognized the recipe immediately. Even the sequence of steps was exactly mine. I DM'd her as calmly as possible, like, hey, this is my recipe that you bought from me. How about at least mentioning you were inspired by it? She replied 3 days later with some dry, all recipes are based on basic culinary principles. No one owns the combination of peach and pepper. Well, okay, I thought, asshole, but what can you do? Then, worse. She started posting her sauce regularly, filming whole videos. Her followers started growing. 4 months later, she announced she signed a contract with a major spice and sauce brand. They're launching her signature line, first product, that same peach sauce. $40,000 advance plus percentage of sales. I was fucking floored when I saw the announcement. I didn't start public drama, didn't write angry posts. I just opened that brand's website, found the product development department contacts, and wrote an email. Introduced myself, attached photos of my jars with post dates from the last 5 years, screenshots of customer reviews, photos from farmers markets where I'd been selling the sauce since 2019. Explained that their new partner is using my recipe without permission. And at the end, I offered, if they're looking for a truly authentic product with a story, I'm ready to discuss exclusive collaboration directly. A week later, their head of marketing called me. We had a call, I sent them samples, they tested them. 2 weeks after that, they terminated the contract with the influencer, citing failure to meet claimed product uniqueness. And offered me a contract, $55,000 advance, 3-year exclusive, my name and story on the packaging. I signed. Sauce goes into production in a month. And she lost the contract, the brand, her reputation, and is now writing justification stories about what a snake I am. Comments. Comment 1. Holy shit, this is like perfect revenge. You just obliterated her and made money off it too. Fucking legend. OP's reply. Thanks, I still can't believe it worked, but when they told me the numbers, I almost fell off my chair. The sweetest part is they reached out to me with the offer themselves. I just gave them the info. Commenter 2. Could she legally sue you over the recipe? Or can't recipes be protected? OP's reply. Recipes are hard to protect unless it's a patented formula, but I had an advantage. I could prove I was making and selling it for years before her. Plus, I had all the posts, photos, reviews with dates. The brand just didn't want to risk their reputation by associating with a thief. Commenter 3. Hope you saved all her messages where she made excuses. That's gold. OP's reply. All screenshots are safe, even the one where she wrote me that basic culinary principles aren't my fucking property. I attached them to the email to the brand, by the way. Commenter 4. Honestly, of course, it's cool you got the contract, but maybe she really came up with a similar recipe herself, peach and habanero. Isn't that crazy a combination? OP's reply, okay, let's say, but then explain to me why the caramelization sequence, vinegar and spice proportions. Even the simmering time matched exactly? That's not a coincidence anymore, that's copy-paste. Plus, she bought 3 jars from me before she started posting her recipes, so no, she didn't think of it herself. Commenter 5. Bro, you buried her. She'll forever be the one who stole someone else's shit and got caught. I'd pop champagne if I were you. Commenter 6. I had a similar story. I made polymer clay jewelry, and one girl on Etsy ripped off my earring design, started selling cheaper. I just let it go because proving it is unrealistic, but you're a boss for not letting it slide. OP's reply. I would have let it go too if she hadn't started making bank off my work and promoting herself as the creator. That was too much. Commenter 7. Is $55,000 just the advance or the full contract amount? OP's reply. Advance plus I get a percentage of every unit sold. If it goes well, I can make another 20 to 30K over 3 years. Commenter 8. It's so satisfying to read when thieves get fucked. Hope her followers also found out she's a fraud. Commenter 9. This is all good, but you're both doing the same thing. Selling food. Competition is normal. Maybe you didn't need to go that hard. OP's reply. Competition is when you create your own product and compete. Theft is when you take someone else's product, pass it off as your own, and make money off it. Feel the difference? I'm not against competition. I'm against her stealing my work and fucking everyone over. Reply post. His is me, the thief. I can't believe you actually posted this here. You seriously think you're some innocent victim? What did you even do? Sold sauce at weekend markets to grannies? That's not a business. That's a hobby. I created content. I invested in filming, in editing. I spent months on promotion. I built an audience that trusts me. And you stole my contract because you couldn't accept that someone did it better. Yes, I bought your sauce. Yes, I tried it and liked it. But I didn't copy your recipe. I adapted the idea to my taste. I experimented myself. I added my own ingredients. This is my work. Peach and habanero is a classic combination used by thousands of chefs worldwide. You didn't invent the wheel! And you know what's the most disgusting? You didn't just write to the brand. You deliberately sabotaged my career. You waited until I announced the contract, waited until I was emotionally invested, told all my friends and family, and then struck. This isn't protecting your rights. This is fucking jealousy and spite. You sent them samples? You offered an exclusive? You stole my contract right from under my nose. I was already planning how I'd scale the business, how I'd level up, and you destroyed everything with one email. The brand didn't even give me a chance to explain. They just terminated the agreement and said I misled them regarding product uniqueness. My reputation is now destroyed thanks to you. My followers think I'm a fraud. Other brands refuse to work with me. I lost sponsorship contracts worth $15,000, and all because you couldn't handle someone else succeeding with a similar product. You say you have proof, photos from markets? That only proves you were selling sauce earlier. It doesn't prove I stole the recipe. I could have come to the same idea independently. Coincidences happen. And speaking of coincidences, funny how you coincidentally reached out to the brand right after I announced the deal. Before that, you sat at your little markets for 5 years and weren't going anywhere, and suddenly you're so entrepreneurial. Who's the real thief here? I hope you're happy you took my dream and my income. Enjoy your $55,000, but know that you got it through manipulation and sabotage, not through honest work. Update. 3 weeks have passed since I posted the story, and so much has happened since then, I don't even know where to start. First, Miss This Is My Work lost 2 more sponsorship contracts after several brands she worked with saw her reply post. One of them straight up wrote in the comments that they're terminating collaboration with her due to violation of ethical standards and attempts to appropriate someone else's intellectual property. Her followers started mass unfollowing. She now has 40% less audience than before the scandal. Second, she tried to sue me for defamation and economic damage. Her lawyer contacted my lawyer. Yeah, now I have a lawyer, thanks to the contract. They looked at the evidence I collected over 5 years and told her she has no chance. She withdrew the suit a week later. Now about her pathetic reply post. Especially love the part where she screams that she adapted the idea to her taste and added her own ingredients. Baby, the brand tested your sauce and my sample in a lab. Ingredient match 98%, including proportions. That's not adaptation, that's a Xerox. And yes, I waited until she announced the contract, because before that I didn't give a fuck about her blog. I wasn't even following her. I found out about the contract by chance when one of my customers sent me a screenshot and asked if it's the same sauce I sell. That's when I realized the scale of the fuck up. Her whining about jealousy is just funny. I'm jealous of someone who stole my recipe and tried to profit off it? No, I just took back what's mine. By the way, the sauce launches in 2 weeks. The brand started an ad campaign with my story, authentic recipe from a creator with 5 years of experience. Pre-orders already at $80,000. So thank you, thief, for the free PR. Update 2 inches. She deleted her reply post and all the stories where she tried to justify herself, made the account private. Her former sponsor posted an official statement calling the situation an egregious case of plagiarism and said they're revising their partner verification procedures. My lawyer says she might try to sue again, but the brand this time for terminating the contract without sufficient grounds. But considering they have lab analysis and all my evidence, she'll just dig herself deeper. Meanwhile, I signed a contract for a second sauce line with the same brand. They want 3 more flavors by summer. Money's flowing, reputation's growing, and she's sitting in her closed hole licking her wounds. Karma, funny thing. Edit. She DM'd me last night, long drunk rambling about how I destroyed her life and that I hope you can sleep well knowing you destroyed someone's career. I replied with one message. I sleep great, thanks for asking. Then she tried to delete her message, but I already took a screenshot, just in case. And that's it for this trash story. Thanks for your hopefully not wasted time. If you want more stories like this or from other subreddits, subscribe or at least drop a like. At least I'll know someone's actually into this. Bye, guys.